Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hive, where the grinding never stops, the gains are real, and we cope with pain using dumb jokes, heavy sets, and an unhealthy amount of caffeine. I'm Vertex, and let's get into it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my home gym. Just like myself, it's not much to look at, but it sure gets the job done to some degree. At least, hopefully, somewhat satisfactory. Anyways, I was just stuck at home today, Decided to get some stuff cleaned up and had a very busy schedule. Oh look, we have an appearance from my outdoor cat. He is a gangster, let me tell you. He is a man of the streets. He refuses to stay inside. He's the boss of the house, so he hangs out outside all the time. And he accompanied me for quite a while in the gym, actually. He's a very talkative guy. You'll see him meowing and stuff in the back. He's pretty cool. Anyways, I just got caught up doing chores at home and just decided to stay home instead of having to go to the gym. And let me tell you, this was one of my most insane push days in a while. I was debating on whether I should just do chest on this day because, like I said in previous videos, we might be doing like an arm day. So with that in mind, we could do a little bit of triceps on chest days, or we could just isolate on chest days, So I decided to do a full push day at home. I have a small little cable set up, and the safeties here are very important for what I'm doing. Oh my god, look at that guy's face. But yeah, we were pushing to failure. We're pushing pretty hard. I don't have any more weights, so I'm stuck at like 135 for my barbell movements, which I do not mind at all at this point in time. Like, the only time I'm really gonna upgrade is when I can incline press maybe like 155 for decent reps. If I could get 135 for like 20, that's when I'm gonna really have to rethink about, my whole setup. I'm gonna have to add some weight plates here and there. But we are definitely not there yet. So, starting off the day with some incline press, if you haven't been able to catch on to that already. If you're, mentally like myself. And, yeah, this was an insane chest day. I have just recovered from this. So I'm actually recording this audio about, I want to say maybe 4 days after this chest day. And I don't know what I did differently. Maybe it's just the angle of the incline bench, or I did do a dumbbell press as well. Later on in the video, you'll see that. And I'll talk about that whenever it comes up. But it was just so sore for so long. It was a magical thing. It really hyped me up. Really set a new expectation for like the whole rest of my week, You just have one of those lifts where it was so good and you just hype yourself up and be like, I need all my lifts to feel like this. Next, we're going to do the dumbbell bench press I was just talking about. I think this is flat. I don't think it's a low incline. But yeah, that's flat for sure. With some old dusty dumbbells. And this just goes to show it doesn't matter what equipment you have, you know. You can get a good workout in with what you got. I got the handles for these dumbbells and the rubber plates for Christmas or whatever from some family members, and then the rest of the stuff is just, you know, piecemeal. The metal weights especially. There is one point where I was just going around various family members' yards and picking up these metal plates out of their front yard or backyard or wherever. Yet they didn't use these in I don't even know how long. So I went through and said I could put them to use. I really need to get a weight rack. That would be my next big upgrade. Just a rack for all of the 1-inch plates I have. The big old bumper plates, the 2-inch ones, we actually have a rack built in on the squat rack. The squat cage, I guess you could say. The power cage, is that what it's called? I don't even know. Don't really care. But they have their own little system there, which is super convenient, by the way. Super convenient. And from there, I would want a little setup for my 1-inch plates. I kind of want to replicate what my gym has for their easy curl bar setup. I think that would be amazing if we could get something like that, especially with like something to conveniently load the dumbbells instead of having to set them on the ground. You know, if you've ever used dumbbells that you have to adjust the weights on, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Having to slide each individual plate on each side. You have to hold the dumbbell, you know, so the plates actually slide on, and it's inconvenient. However, what's even more inconvenient is not getting a workout in, right? So, if anybody has any ideas on a way to conveniently, or like a setup that they use that conveniently lets them load the dumbbells, that would be a game changer. Like, if I could get a 1-inch designed, like a rack designed for 1-inch plates that I could load like an easy curl bar, or like I have a straight bar. It's supposed to be a barbell. It feels wrong calling it a barbell, but it's supposed to be a barbell. If you could load those kinds of bars and also dumbbells, that would be a game changer. You know what? I think it was probably a mixture between that incline, pushing it really hard on that incline bench press, and also that dumbbell press really just destroyed my chest on this day. From the bench, we are going over to the straight bar push down. I kind of want to set up my app for logging my exercises to, I know this isn't totally like necessary, but I kind of want to set it up to have my own personal at-home movements versus at the gym movements, just because it's a different cable system. Each individual cable system is going to be a little bit different depending on the amount of pulleys, how the pulleys are set up, all that kind of situations. Even in your own gym. Oh, that was a weird lighting change. Is it because I walked into frame? It is. Oh, that's weird. I kind of like the more warm lighting anyways, though. Anyways, so like each individual cable system is going to be a little bit different. the weight's going to feel different. If you do 50 pounds on this one, it's going to feel way different than if you do 50 pounds over here, or maybe like a little bit different than a 50 pound one when you have it at home. But I finally got my home gym cleaned up, so I think it's going to see a lot more use. And I think I want to set up the movements on my logging app to be for home and keep like the basic ones for the gym. Just so it's easier to track progressive overload. Even if it's not totally necessary to track progressive overload, people like Sam Zulik, you know, they're always like, if you just push it really hard, there's no need to track it, you know. If you push to failure, there's not really a need. You're pushing your muscles to the limit. But I personally do the progressive overload for like a mental track to see where I am. And because there's times, you know, on a bulk where I feel like I'm just putting on weight and it feels unnecessary. Then I look back on the weight change on my lifts as well. Be like, oh geez, my bench press went up by like 10 pounds for the same amount of reps, you know, like that kind of thing really helped me during my last bulk, especially because I went from being a bigger guy and had to start like cutting down. I still think I am still in that phase. I have a long-term plan to get shredded. I'm not going to be like, I'm just going to cut for 2 years straight to get down to a 5% body fat percentage. I'm not that guy, right? But yeah, I want to have a decent amount of progress every time I bulk up and then every time I cut back down. And it's going to be like mostly a downward trend in overall weight, right? Mentally in my head, I don't see myself getting under 185 pounds. I think 185 would be my ideal. Right now, like during my last cut, if you guys watched that video, I discussed about being able to get down to 188 at one point for a few days. That was a huge milestone for me. I don't think I've been under 190 since I don't even remember, probably 2020. Yeah, I think right before COVID, I was doing okay. I think I was still maintaining about that 185 area, but yeah, you know, COVID affected everybody in a different way, and that's just how I got hit with it. We were doing some chest dumbbell flies there, and we are moving on to a overhead tricep extension. With this setup, this is actually pretty convenient right there. You can see me like kind of lean back, and I was just testing where it stops. Sorry, I had to like match that eye contact there. Kind of turned me on a little bit. Got me distracted. Where was I? I was testing to see like where it just stops so I could safely like re-rack the weight. And this machine feels very weird to do this with. I don't know if it's just because the cables on it aren't worn in enough or something, but if you get stuck in that bottom position, that's it. Like, you're just stuck there. That's also the hardest part of this movement. I think I've discussed this before, and the deep stretched part is intentionally what is the hard part, you know? So I don't mind failing there. It was just like the reps started to feel easy, and then all of a sudden you just stop, you crash and stop. Oh, also I got a haircut. I didn't even mention that. This is the first video of me having this haircut too. I kind of like the mixture of the blonde with the dark. It's kind of abrupt change right now, but I'll grow into it for sure. Oh, this is gonna be sick right here. Just wait just a second. Oh, there's the cat again. Right here, this is gonna be real dope. Watch this. I set up one single little overhead light, so everything else around me is like really dark. The shadows are insane. I know I'm like wearing a black shirt and I have a chest pump, but I am definitely not confident enough to be rocking out with my cock out, you know? I'm definitely gonna have a shirt on for quite a while. Showing off some tricep and shoulder action here. Alright, gang, that's enough pain for today. Don't forget to hydrate, lift heavy, eat your protein, and question your life choices. This is Vertex, signing off.